One of the biggest breakout stories to start the NBA season, the sensational brilliance and excellence of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder. After the devastating injury to second overall pick Chet Holmgren, the team viewed upon in the tank race for the Wembanyama sweepstakes. But given how amazing SGA's played, you can certainly make the case he's playing like a top 5 player right now the first month of the season. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson, belonging in the same conversation at least for the first month of the regular season with the Giannis's, Lukas, Embiid's, and Tatum's of the world. Through the first 15 games to start this season, the soon-to-be first-time All-Stars putting up insane numbers of over 31 a game, 4.6 rebounds, nearly 6 assists on over 53% shooting, 41 from 3, nearly 91% from the line, 1.8 steals, and 1.4 blocks. Absurd for the 7-9 OKC Thunder team that can't even tank properly because SGA is so damn good. Very exciting to watch. Even put in the same graphic as Michael Jordan, his 5th season, 24 years young, wasn't quite in the discussion as the best young guards like the Lukas, Trace, and Morants of the world due to being on a rebuilding team. The Thunder have certainly found their franchise guy, signing a 5-year extension back in 2021 for $173 million, ends in 27. But by that time, OKC will have all the assets and trying to contend. They might even contend in 2 years. Competitive amongst the more talented teams, the handles with the incredible mid-range jumpers at 6'6", getting to his sweet spots, 6'11" wingspan, finishes at the rim, excellent body control, a combination of having Luka Doncic patience, underrated footwork. The Canadian sensation has a more traditional game with the step-back threes when needed, playing like a legit superstar, proving it in front of our very eyes. A natural touch around the rim without having to explode or jump too high thanks to those long arms. CP3's 1 year with OKC truly resonated with the growth of SGA, who was viewed as a draw-in combo with Gallo, and the Clippers giving up a ridiculous 5 first-round picks for just Paul George, only because LAC had no choice, wanting Kawhi Leonard, handing the keys to the franchise to the king of load management. 3 years after, SGA now arguably a better player than both George and Leonard right now and going forward. Both Clippers stars injury prone in their 30s, getting SGA 21 years old at the time, arguably Sam Presti's finest moment as GM. Looking back to his 2018 loaded class, it's clear to say Gilgeous-Alexander, at least a top 3 player, even has an argument for number 2 over Trae Young due to his size, ability to do more on D, not a liability at all in any aspects. Trae with the playmaking advantage, but SGA a better pure scorer and a way more solid defender, a chance at becoming one of the best two-way guards. If Doncic wasn't in this same class, SGA would literally be in the discussion as number 1 for his draft. Slowly having one of the deepest offensive backs in the game, having an insane 5-game stretch that you cannot ignore, back-to-back 37-point games, plus a filthy game-winning jumper on Washington, the small market Thunder needs to take some of the pathetic Lakers national game TV spots. Scoring 30 plus 10 of his first 15 games, the former 10th pick wasn't even considered one of the top prospects, but after balling out a year at Kentucky, we all found out. Born in Toronto, Canada, young Shai grew up in Hamilton, Ontario, transferred to Hamilton Heights Christian Academy in Chattanooga, Tennessee to play better competition, a 4-star recruit with great court vision and passing ability, solid handles, slept on by many D1 schools, number 35 recruit for the class of 2017. Marvin Bagley and Michael Porter Jr., the two sensations, while Ayton, Bamba, Wendell Carter, imposing bigs, also drafted above him, and college teammate Kevin Knox, ranked 10, Trae Young 23rd. Even from Kentucky's recruiting class, a powerhouse program heavily slept on, SGA ranked 7 when he could very well go down as one of the 3 best players John Calipari ever had. Wasn't even expected to be a star, let alone a one and done, supposed to be a 4-year guy, not even a starter, but the relentless hunger to pursue excellence, to chase his dream, making the NBA, to now becoming a future all-star and one of the game's brightest players, shocked the college basketball nation, being the 2nd leading scorer, the main floor general, even 40% from deep, SEC tournament MVP, while Trae Young dominated in Oklahoma from the very start, and DA in Arizona deemed as a physical specimen, drawing comparisons to David Robinson, Marvin Bagley putting up big numbers at Duke, with center Wendell Carter doing the same, Mo Bamba the insane 7'10 wingspan, viewed as the next Rudy Gobert, but Bamba's still not there, Jared Jackson Jr. having Kevin Garnett type potential, being raw with his height and quickness, and Luka Doncic being the EuroLeague sensation, the most hyped international prospect, a super loaded class where if this was the 2013 draft with the weak Anthony Bennett, Victor Oladipo at second, and third overall pick OK Otto Porter, SGA likely would have been top 5 in that class. His first 7 college games, just 9.1 points, got a lot better the ongoing months. The 3 conference tournament games plus the NCAA 20 games, 20.7 points, nearly 6 rebounds, over 6 assists, 2 steals, a lot better than teammates Kevin Knox numbers during that stretch. From not projected to be drafted before the season to all of a sudden a potential lottery pick in just a few months span, decided to enter the NBA draft. Calipari, seen as the king of the one and dones and college hoops legend, gave SGA the ultimate respect, released a statement that absolutely resonates to his hard work. Shai's development is a story I'll tell our players for the rest of my career. When we talk about building your own confidence and conquering yourself, Shai is a perfect example. You're talking about a kid who had the physical tools and had the potential to be in this position, but he elevated his game because he woke up at 7 a.m. every day to work out, was the best in the weight room, watch film, and never missed class. I said it before and I'll say it again. I never met a kid who is undisciplined off the court be disciplined on. Shai's entire life is discipline, and it's not forced by others around him. He's done this because he's put in the work, and it's that attitude and mindset that will ensure his success at the next level. I couldn't be more proud of him, and I know that whatever team gets him is going to get a young man that will bring a winning mentality. Sounds like the opposite of Ben Simmons. For a coach that had nearly a dozen future NBA All-Stars, over 5% of today's NBA players have played under Coach Cal. Over 40% of players drafted for Kentucky's Calipari, including 3 number 1 picks in Ant Davis, John Wall, and Karl Towns, even D Rose number 1 pick for Memphis, elevating his game, reaching his full potential. It's not an accident why SGA has become this good, and even after season's end, Kevin Knox still perceived as Kentucky's number 1 star due to the early season hype. The Knicks decided to take Knox over Shai. Despite all his success, not viewed as a franchise-changing superstar like an Ayton, Bagley, or Doncic type. Comparisons to Ron Harper and DeJounte Murray, good height and wingspan, a two-way specialist. If there was a redraft right now, Doncic easily go number 1 without question. While Sacramento blindly took the underachieving, injury-prone Marvin Bagley, now deemed as a role player on the bad Pistons team, SGA and now Kings De'Aaron Fox having breakout seasons, Sacramento would have easily taken Shai or Trey. But Gilgeous-Alexander never even in the discussion as a top 5 pick. There were debates about Ayton and Luka going number 1, but DA playing college hoops with Arizona looked upon like a Karl Anthony Towns number 1 pick caliber. Good offense, but not too great on D, while the Slovenian's prodigy won MVP at 18 years old, the second best professional league in the world. Despite his greatness, there were some concerns about Doncic not being very athletic and slow, questionable if he dominate. While Ayton listed 7-1, a man amongst boys, became a very good role player, but still underwhelming as the number 1 pick with all the talent in the draft. Nevertheless, there were huge arguments at the time between Ayton and Luka, but just a couple games into the rookie season, it wasn't even remotely close. The Ringers mock draft had Ayton first, where most people actually did for those who followed the NBA then. A fair estimate would say over 70% sided with Ayton as the number 1 pick. Projected to easily be a 2010 guy in his sleeve, doesn't dominate offensively, lacks the touches given his wide frame, while Bagley's athleticism, playing relentless on the glass, drafted in the worst possible situation with Sacramento, got benched a lot, likely ruined his confidence, also injury prone, while Luka had the highest ceiling if everything worked out, proven to be a transcendent talent and a once-in-a-lifetime player, first team All-NBA by his second season, all-time great potential already, having some of Magic Johnson's playmaking, Larry Bird's IQ and craftiness, being ball dominant like LeBron, controlling the offense, Jared Jackson Jr. 7'5" wingspan, and a modern day stretch 5 who can shoot the 3, a good piece for Memphis, but still very injury prone, a work in progress, still has ways to go in trying to become a future All-Star, while Mo Bamba, viewed as a bust, barely gets minutes with Orlando as a backup, lacks intensity and spirit, fouls a lot, hasn't fixed his low IQ plays, but very intelligent in many things outside of basketball, the rawness based on projection, but also had had huge bust potential too, while Trey had monster college numbers, elite scorer, shades of Steph Curry, looked like the greatest freshman guard ever. First couple weeks with Oklahoma, even in the top 3 discussion, but size, strength, and defense were his big weaknesses, while Carter Jr., good hands around the basket, a prospect that impacts the game without the big numbers, fluid, and deemed as the second coming of Al Horford, always projected between 5 to 10, while Shai was barely in the debate with Trey. At the guard spot, it was Colin Sexton at Alabama, a fearless score-first guard with huge eyes and that Pat Beverly intensity, contagious attitude, highlighted by his 40-point game while playing 3-on-5. Also somewhere between the 5 to 10 range as a lot, pretty much 50-50 between SGA and Knox on who will get drafted first for Kentucky, while two-time NCAA champion Mikal Bridges, one of the most proven prospects, 21 years old, the perfect 3-and-D for the modern NBA, 40% outside shooter for two-time national champion Villanova, transition threes and lockdown D at 6'7". Nobody said he was going to be a superstar, but would be picked anywhere between 7 to 15, a fair assessment, a near sure thing as a good role player on a contender, which he's been proven. It wouldn't have been shocking if Shai even fell out the lottery, given other big names picked after him. Miles Bridges out of Michigan State, 2 seasons, built like a football player, a do-it-all type athlete, viewed as a Corey Maggette caliber, and even labeled the second coming of Josh Smith. Also could have been in the 7 to 10 range, fell a little bit, and we haven't even mentioned Michael Porter Jr. yet, dropped all the way down to 14, had a back injury, limited to 3 games at Mizzou. Before college, a hype high school sensation, labeled the next Kevin Durant with handles, ability to create his own shot, knock down threes, even talked about as a potential #1 pick during high school, and nearly a top 4 lock in the conversation with Ayton, Bagley, and Doncic before getting hurt. The spinal disc injury, having surgery, scared a lot of teams away. The Clippers passed him up twice. Knicks fans irate he was on the table and decided to take Kevin Knox. Porter Jr. could have easily went as high as #4 even after the surgery. But after not being announced in the top 7, many anticipated he'd be the next pick, but had to wait 7 picks later. Still injury prone in the NBA, missing nearly 60% of his regular season games his first 4 years before this coming 22-23 season. Even for Celtics center Robert Williams was supposed to be a top 10 at the early part of the season. A monster at Texas A&M, fell all the way to 27 due to being out of shape during the pre-draft workouts and questionable desire for the game. Could be the guy that puts the Celtics over the top. SGA became the first serious lottery pick for his class to play postseason basketball. The 48-win Clippers, no stars, a combination of solid pieces, Lou Will, Danilo Gallinari, Montrezl Harrell. Before he fell off, SGA ran the point, reminded Clipper fans of the polished Sean Livingston, Pat Beverly, and Zubac on that team, averaged nearly 11 a game as a rookie, efficient 48% from the field, all rookie second team, all his best fellow draft mates sat home for the postseason. SGA got a taste of the 2-time defending champion Warriors, averaged over 13 a game, huge experience before being part of the Paul George trade Kawhi Leonard demanded, a decision that might haunt the Clippers forever. Looked like a stud playing with CP3, having a 0.2% chance to make the playoffs, being the leading scorer, excellent discipline and pace, lost in 7 to prime James Harden's Rockets, hampered by injuries each of his last 2 seasons combined with OKC shutting him down early. In 2021, team went 16 and 19 overall with him, but an absolute tanking travesty, 6 and 31 without him, absolutely disgusting. Missed 26 games in 2022, many didn't even get a chance to watch his greatness due to OKC stinking. Last 13 games of 2022, averages of 30.4 points, nearly 6 rebounds, over 7 dimes, 1.7 steals, 54% shooting. Only Thunder fans that truly watch all the games knew SGA would continue balling out this season, picked up where he left off, nothing new to them. The whole NBA landscape just starting to wake up. Safe to say, Gilgeous-Alexander will soon be joining Doncic and Trey as the 3rd player from the 2018 class to make the All-Star team, which can go down as one of the best draft classes all time. Young Doncic, a healthy full potential Michael Porter with Shai, and a prime Ayton with Jared Jackson Jr. off the bench, alongside Mikal Bridges, Colin Sexton, Wendell Carter, and a well-behaved Miles Bridges if he ever gets his act together to reach his full potential. That's not even including second rounders in Jalen Brunson and Gary Trent Jr., other first rounders not in the lottery, Anthony Simons, Kevin Huerter, and Lonnie Walker. Absolutely loaded star-studded class. Looking at the drafts the year before and after, SGA likely would have been between 6 to 8 behind De'Aaron Fox for 2017, but definitely ahead of Frank Ntilikina and Dennis Smith Jr. Could have went as high as 4 in 2019 and easily top 8 over Jackson Hayes. Going first or second doesn't necessarily mean you'll be one of the best, but with the work ethic, efficiency, the rise, being a 30+ point scoring dread, SGA right now has the case for being the third best player age 25 and under, behind of course Jason Tatum and Luka Doncic. Looking at the players right here between John Moran, Darius Garland, SGA, Zion Williamson, and there's Trae Young. So, which one of these guys are you taking for the next 10 years at 3 behind Tatum and Luka? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. What are your thoughts on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander? If you are new to the NBA and you want to learn more about the National Basketball Association, hit the subscribe button. I love all of you. More good stuff coming soon. See you next time.